Registered Phenomena Code 896. Object Class Beta Red. Hazard Types: Ballistic Hazard, Mechanical Hazard, Sapient Hazard, Electromagnetic Force Hazard, Explosive Hazard, Extreme Temperature Hazard. Containment Protocols. RPC-896 is currently stored within Sub-Level 4 of Site-038's Containment Core. Connecting RPC-896 to any sources of electricity is forbidden without written permission from Head Researcher Modi. Personnel possessing the name Jeffrey, or any deviations of the name Jeffrey in other languages, are not to come into contact with RPC-896, with the exception of Head Researcher Modi. Testing with RPC-896 is restricted to CSD personnel, with no research personnel allowed within the same confined space of RPC-896. Sub-Level 4 is to be constantly monitored for inter-universal openings. The termination of individuals crossing through the aforementioned openings is authorized. As a result of previous attempts by other GOIs to acquire RPC-896, MST Delta-1, the Keepers, has been assigned to RPC-896. Description: RPC-896 is a video game arcade cabinet, measuring 1.81 meters by 0.83 meters by 0.62 meters. RPC-896 is structurally similar to that of a Midway Classic 19-inch vertical monitor upright cabinet, with the exception of joysticks and buttons being in a hexagonal setting. An arcade cabinet created by Midway Games, commonly used during the 1980s. Currency is not required for the operation of RPC-896, despite the presence of openings capable of accepting standard United States quarters. RPC-896 is capable of manifesting certain objects within line of sight of RPC-896 through unknown means. See Addendum 896.1 for examples of physical methods utilized by RPC-896. The manifestation is controlled by the in-game character Mahatma Gandhi, hereby referred to as RPC-896-1. Attempts to dissuade the player, hereby referred to as the subject, from continuing usage of RPC-896 will be made by RPC-896-1. Such attempts are usually verbal, but in certain instances, RPC-896-1 may manifest certain objects with the intention of forcibly deterring the subject from using RPC-896. RPC-896 will not be tarnished by any of RPC-896-1's attempts at blocking subjects from using RPC-896, despite inflicting damage to the surroundings. Autonomous deactivation is not possible for RPC-896, and a mental status, similar to that of sleep paralysis, is experienced by RPC-896 during deactivation. See Addendum 896.2 for more details. The game, for which RPC-896 houses, is near identical to the May 2012 version of non-anomalous Sid Meier's Civilization V games. A 4X video game in the Civilization series, developed by Paralysis Games, released September 2010. No arcade cabinets for Sid Meier's Civilization V have been produced for commercial use. Discovery: RPC-896 was discovered in Singapore on March 9, 2015, where reports of a Civilization V arcade game were circulated. Romeo 7, Suited Gentleman, was deployed and successfully retrieved RPC-896. A cover story of the event, being a promotion for Sid Meier's Civilization VI, was provided. RPC-896's full anomalous effects were revealed on March 12, 2015, when Dr. Modi attempted to use RPC-896 for recreational purposes. Further investigations for the storage devices of RPC-896 reveals the documentation of RPC-896's remarks when deterring the subject from using RPC-896, as well as certain information regarding the origins of RPC-896. A device capable of recording videos, and a metal plate labeled RCP-2215 was present at the time of recovery. and is currently stored at Site-016. The device does not resemble any commercially available video capturing devices. This is not a typo. The retrieved metal plate was labeled RCP-2215. I repeat, this is not a typo. Dr. Modi. Addendum 896.1 The device capable of recording videos contained documentation regarding RPC-896's capabilities in deterring other individuals from using RPC-896. This, coupled with the subsequent decryption of RPC-896's storage device, allowed for RPC-896's attempts at dissuading the subject from using RPC-896 prior to Authority acquisition to be discovered. The individual using RPC-896 in the video will be referred to as the subject. The affiliation of the entities that initiated the test are unknown. RPC-896 Usage Log. Attempt Number 0000. Duration of Session. Statement from RPC-896-1. Result. Attempt Number 0001. Duration of Session 5 hours 10 minutes. Statement from RPC-896-1. You've been playing for 5 hours. Give it a rest. Result. Not applicable. Attempt Number 0002. Duration of Session 5 hours 52 minutes. Statement from RPC-896-1. I'm sure setting up a new city in the most optimal position will require a full night's thoughts. How about we stop today's session here? Result. Not applicable. Extravagant logs removed. Attempt Number 0049. Duration of Session 3 hours 34 minutes. Statement from RPC-896-1. The pen is mightier than the gun, especially when you can just write some weapons into existence. Result. Not applicable. Attempt Number 0050. Duration of Session 7 minutes. Statement from RPC-896-1. Okay, I have kept myself relatively peaceful, and intend to maintain it, but can you stop using me? Result. Not applicable. Attempt Number 0051. Duration of Session 9 minutes. Statement from RPC-896-1. Please, just stop it. Result. Not applicable. Extravagant logs removed. Attempt Number 0233. Duration of Session 3 hours 25 minutes. Statement from RPC-896-1. This is ridiculous. Why are you doing this? Are you trying to find out how I can make shit spawn out of thin air? Result. Cow excrement was manifested in front of the screen, and launched at a speed of 60 meters per second. Attempt Number 0234. Duration of Session 2 hours 58 minutes. Statement from RPC-896-1. I'm sorry for yesterday's outburst. Result. Not applicable. Attempt Number 0235. Duration of Session 29 minutes. Statement from RPC-896-1. I said I'm sorry. What do you want? Can you hear me now? Result. An electric current was released through RPC-896. Subject removed hand from RPC-896. Attempt Number 0236. Duration of Session 2 hours 47 minutes. Statement from RPC-896-1. I'm going to smash you with my own hands if you don't leave. I'd rather not, to be honest. Result. A Midway Classic 19-inch vertical monitor upright cabinet manifested, approximately 0.53 meters above the subject, resulting in the expiration of the subject. Attempt Number 0238. Duration of Session 2 hours 55 minutes. Statement from RPC-896-1. Why are you doing this? Result. The joystick of RPC-896 was locked into place, and was unable to be shifted by the subject. Attempt Number 0239. Duration of Session 3 hours 17 minutes. Statement from RPC-896-1. Look, if you want answers, then I have none. Doing this again and again won't help. Result. An explosive device manifested within 80 cm of the subject. Subject terminated. The device resembled the M26 fragmentation hand grenade. Attempt Number 0240. Duration of Session 3 hours 20 minutes. Statement from RPC-896-1. I can do this all day. I prefer not to. Stop now. Result: a current was released through RPC-896. Subject rendered unconscious. Attempt Number 0241. Duration of Session 2 hours 52 minutes. Statement from RPC-896-1. Stop now, and I promise you some kind of favor. Result: not applicable. Attempt Number 0242. Duration of Session 2 hours 28 minutes. Statement from RPC-896-1. Why are you even doing this? I told you I have no answers. Did I wrong you or something? How did I even get here? Can you at least answer these questions? Result: not applicable. Attempt Number 0243. Duration of Session 3 hours 9 minutes. Statement from RPC-896-1. Are you there? Result: not applicable. Attempt Number 0244. Duration of Session 6 hours 13 minutes. Statement from RPC-896-1. Not applicable. Result: not applicable. Attempt Number 0245. Duration of Session 6 hours 13 minutes. Statement from RPC-896-1. Not applicable. Result: not applicable. Attempt Number 0246. Duration of Session 2 hours 13 minutes. Statement from RPC-896-1. Ah! Result: an entity resembling a 1/60th model of the X-32 aircraft manifested overhead and ran into the subject. Subject rendered unconscious. A concept demonstrator aircraft developed by Boeing in 2000 for the Joint Strike Fighter program. Extravagant logs removed. Attempt Number 0369. Duration of Session 1 hour 13 minutes. Statement from RPC-896-1. Our worlds are backed by nuclear weapons. Result: RPC-896 detonated with a yield of approximately 480 to 960 megajoules. Subject terminated. RPC-896 undamaged. Attempt Number 0370. Duration of Session 1 hour 13 minutes. Statement from RPC-896-1. The thing about nuclear deterrence, though, is that you cannot provoke a side to the point where the other side feels that no option other than mutually assured destruction can work. Result: 2 devices resembling the GSH-630 rotary cannon opened from the sides of RPC-896. An estimated 300 projectiles were fired, causing the termination of the subject. Attempt Number 0371. Duration of Session 3 hours 14 minutes. Statement from RPC-896-1. Next time, I'm actually nuking this fucking place. Fucking stop! Result: a nuclear detonation of approximately 10 to 30 gigajoules occurred from RPC-896, causing the termination of the subject. End of logs. Attention: the remaining segment of this document is restricted to personnel with either Level 4 security clearance or Object-Specific Clearance Levels 3/896, 3/068, 3/378, 3/463, 3/749, 3/929, or 3/955. File unlocked. Welcome. Addendum 896.2. The decryption of RPC-896's storage device facilitated the discovery of several interviews between RPC-896-1 and an individual referred to as Jeff by RPC-896-1. The affiliation of Jeff is believed to be with the Righteous Centralized Protection Authority. Special Briefing: RCP Authority. Threat Code: Hostile. Attributes: Authority Aware, Unveiled, Seeker, Sculptor, Structured, Local. Description: The Righteous Centralized Protection Authority, RCPA, widely referred to as the Authoritarians, is an alternate timeline iteration of the Authority that has openly seized control of their world. Initially motivated by the desire to protect humanity more completely and efficiently, they have long grown corrupted and arrogant in their dominance. Embracing the use of the anomalous to their own ends, the RCPA's ethos of justice has been twisted into a creed that demonizes rogue anomalies and dissidents indiscriminately together as villains. Recently, certain links between the RCPA timeline and our own have opened. Their presence in the world has been actively combated, as their creed of justice and utter lack of subtlety are antitheses to our authority. Retrieved Interview Log, March 26, 2011. Interviewed, RPC-896-1. Interviewer, Jeff. Date, March 26, 2011. Forward. The interview is believed to have taken place not long after the initial acquisition of RPC-896 by the Righteous Centralized Protection Authority. Begin log. RPC-896-1. On behalf of the Indian people, I extend a hand of friendship towards you. Jeff. Greetings RCP-2215-1. I am Dr. Modi, and I will be interviewing you today. You're with those guys with the black helmets and weird badges, right? If you're talking about the Highlanders, then yes. You make them sound like dark magic practitioners, you know. It is believed that the role of the Highlanders are similar to that of Baseline within the RCPA universe. Thank God. 2215-1. If it's not too much trouble, may I ask you some questions? Sure, why not? Do you have a name? My name is Mahatma Gandhi, but you can call me anything. Okay then, RCP-2215-1. Now, we discovered your existence with a signal coming from State 61, near Sydney. How did you transmit such a signal? I manifested a beacon. Well, this was a creation that you were otherwise familiar with, no? No, I wasn't. The only reason I could create the beacon is that one of the things keeping me was talking about another unit that acted as a strong beacon. I tried to replicate that beacon, based off of how it described the beacon. Well, it worked. Can we use the beacon for research? The beacon's gone. It just disappeared. The things that I create usually don't last an hour. Any more questions? Now, I'm here to tell you that we will be conducting tests on you to find out how you manifest things from now. Would tomorrow be okay? Will you end up using me? Maybe. Is there a problem? Oh, yes. Very much yes. Why is that? I'm sorry. It's just that bloody hell. Dear God, I'll see what I can do. By the way, Doc, what should I call you? How about Jeff, as it says on your name tag? My name is Dr. Modi, but I suppose Jeff could work. Good evening, 2215-1. Good evening, Jeff. End log. Retrieved Interview Log, March 27, 2011. Interviewed, RPC-896-1. Interviewer, Jeff. Date, March 27, 2011. Forward. The interview is believed to have taken place not long after the initial acquisition of RPC-896 by the Righteous Centralized Protection Authority. Begin log. RPC-896-1. On behalf of the Indian people, I extend a hand of friendship towards you. Hi, 2215-1. It's Dr. Modi. Hi, Jeff. If you're here to ask about testing, then stop. I'm not. Can you tell us more about how you came to be? Well, I have no idea. I don't remember anything before that. By the way, did I ever mention my distaste for being unplugged? I suppose it's like sleep paralysis for me. I'm afraid I don't recall that. I'll make sure to add that to your containment protocols. Also, How would you describe your life before we retrieved you? 2215-1. Well, some people used me every single waking moment of my life, played with me, toyed with every part of my billions of components, and unplugged me whenever they were done. Structural analysis of RPC-896 does not indicate the presence of over 1 billion components. Whenever I tried to get them to fuck off with the electric shocks and EMPs and nukes, they would just return for more. Bloody hell. I'll mark that as overwhelmingly negative then. Fucking hell. I'm not going to… Give me a second, 2215-1. Erasmus, Patrick, may you please leave for a second or two? What are you doing, Jeff? Jeff? We're the good guys, god fucking damn it. 2215-1. Listen closely, and prepare to say these words when I give the signal. I've accidentally nuked those folks simply from them using me. Is that relevant information? Jeff, what's going on? Do as I say. Erasmus, Patrick, you can come back now. Okay, as I was saying, 2215-1. What relevant information regarding using you should we know about? I've accidentally nuked those folks, simply from them using me. Is that relevant information? Oh dear. Well, it's lucky that we found this out before testing. Well, I believe that will be all for today. Time to go home, people. No, wait, Jeff. Shh. 16 seconds pass with silence. Bloody hell, we're better than this. I'll let you know what happens after a few days. Maybe I'll succeed. Maybe I'll fail. In the meantime, try not to run into trouble. If this gets out, we're both fucked. Well, why did you do it if it was going to get us fucked? Because I joined the Authority, thinking that we were the good guys. And I'm pretty sure we are. But sometimes, the things that we do to be the good guys just don't sit well with me. Consider this my attempt at redemption, for the things I've done in the name of the Authority. Wow, again, thanks for that, Jeff. No worries, 2215-1. Still, thank you. End log. Retrieved interview log. March 31st, 2011. Interviewed, RPC-896-1. Interviewer, Jeff. Date, March 31st, 2011. Forward. The interview is believed to have taken place not long after the initial acquisition of RPC-896 by the Righteous Centralized Protection Authority. Begin log. RPC-896-1. On behalf of the Indian people, I extend my hand as a sign of friendship. Jeff. Good evening, 2215-1. This is Jeff. Are the new containment protocols useful? Yes, thanks. Okay, I'll have a few more questions and then we're done. Shoot. How much control do you have over your creations? Do you just think of nuke and create a nuke? Or do you think of weapons of mass destruction, and an assortment of weapons show up? Pretty much the former. Okay, well 2215-1, officially speaking, I'm here to assess how helpful you are to our cause. Your cause? Yes, our cause. To progress humanity despite the many, many regressive idiots that want to stop us. Afraid not. That's understandable. You know, 2215-1, some days I take our hegemony on society for granted. I mean, look outside. People are being fed, aren't dying of smallpox, and can read. The other anomalous groups, such as your captors, have diminished in power. We have a space elevator. Things thought impossible less than 50 years ago. What's a space elevator? 2215-1, you're adorable. Do you know what space is? It's where the spaceship goes, right? You're absolutely right. Interesting. Can I go there someday? Yeah, sure. I'll try to take you there someday. Great. You were saying, Jeff? Right. I was told to assess how helpful you are to progressing society, and defeating those who oppose us. Maybe we'll create people that can just write things into existence. Maybe a manufacturing plant that can build anything with no resources. That sounds a bit terrifying. Don't worry, we'll just be running tests to find out how you can manifest things out of nowhere. Think about this. You have the chance to help destroy the very thing that defined a miserable part of your life. This is a chance that I would have accepted in a heartbeat. I can also assure you, with the new information supplied to us by you on our last interview, we will probably never ever use you. Wow, really? I can guarantee that. No making you do what you don't want to do. Pinky swear? An object, resembling a human hand, is believed to have manifested. Fine, 2215-1. Pinky swear. End log. Addendum 896.3. The following file, regarding the origins of RPC-896, was located by Authority personnel. Data corrupted. File. Unit File AD-1138. Data corrupted. ID AD-1138. Self-ID Gandhi. Unit Value 98.60%. Unit Applications Entertainment, Manufacturing. **APPE at NC**. Data corrupted. Capabilities: Processing capabilities, above average. Physical capabilities, low. Abnormal capabilities: Capable of manifesting objects for self-defense, means unknown. Notable flaws: Low mobility. Test log. Objectives: The understanding of conditioning on units. Hypothesis: Units may be conditioned to a large extent. Methodology: Unit to be disconnected from a power source, after use, in order to condition a negative impression with being used. Data corrupted. Note: Unit retained conditioning and anomalous capabilities after memory wipe. Reverse engineering of unit through testing authorized. Additional notes: Relations: Unit possesses resentment due to frequent testing. Increased monitoring for subversive activities recommended. Management: Potential for weaponization currently believed to be unknown. Origin: Discovered in State 852 by Site-202 personnel. No known Authority site adopts the number 202. AD-1138 removed from State 852 and placed under custody. Addendum 896.4. On March 29, 2015, an inter-universal opening manifested in Sublevel 4. 10 hostile individuals, equipped with equipment standard of Romeo-7, suited gentlemen, emerged from the opening. On-site security, along with 24 members of Romeo-7, suited gentlemen, were successful in repulsing the attack. 3 individuals were terminated. No casualties were taken by the Authority. The 3 terminated individuals were identified as RPC-896-1, was subsequently interviewed about this incident. Interview Log, March 30th, 2015. Interviewed: RPC-896-1. Interviewer: Dr. Jeffrey Modi. Date: March 30th, 2015. Forward: The interview was conducted not long after the acquisition of RPC-896, with the intent of determining the origin of RPC-896, and the involvement of RPC-896 in the RCPA raid on March 29th, 2015. Begin log. RPC-896-1. On behalf of the Indian people, I extend a hand of friendship towards you. Modi. Greetings, RPC-896-1. My name is Dr. Modi, and I have some questions to ask you. Certainly, Jeff. It's been what, 3 weeks? If I may ask, who's Jeff? Oh, you're not Jeff? I'm afraid not. Well, where am I? We'll get there later. RPC-896-1. Did you generate some kind of signal during the last 2 days? Why? Just answer the question, please. No. No? Yeah, no. I'm a bloody arcade machine, not a signal tower. Understood. My turn. Where is Jeff? Who the hell are you? And why do you look like Jeff? 896-1. Why do you dislike being used? I just don't. Where is Jeff? Can I get an answer first? My answer is that I have no idea. I know. I'll put pictures of myself over that internet thing. That will certainly make it easier for Jeff to find me. No. We can handle this. Fine. I'll do it your way. Thank you. End log. Closing statement. It is currently unknown how the name of Dr. Modi was known by RPC-896-1. Objective of deactivating any signals from RPC-896-1 successful. Note: with the recent discovery were the origins of RPC-896. It is determined that technology commonly found in RCPA equipment may be possessed by RPC-896. Therefore, the understanding of RPC-896's method of operations are to be considered a high priority. The location of RPC-896 is also to remain undisclosed from the RCPA. Authority personnel are to avoid discussion on the whereabouts of Jeff. Later investigation revealed that the whereabouts of RPC-896 were from an anonymous Righteous Central Protection Authority operative, and not from any actions taken by RPC-896. An insurrection within baseline authority, supported by the RCPA, believed to be the manifestation of this timeline's RCPA. On December 19, 2016, several images of RPC-896 in Authority custody were discovered on the internet forums .org and .com. Tracing at Internet Protocol addresses revealed the source of the images to be from a Site-038 terminal, which was, at the time, being used by a mechanical humanoid entity. The entity resembled a giant death robot unit from Civilization V. A USB flash drive, believed to contain the uploaded images, was plugged into the terminal. Authority personnel were able to remove the power source of RPC-896, causing the demanifestation of the above-mentioned entity and the USB flash drive. Removal of the images from the aforementioned internet forums was completed within 20 minutes, with no further action considered necessary. An interview was conducted by Dr. Modi on December 21, 2016, to understand the motives of RPC-896's actions. Interview log: December 21, 2016. Interviewed: RPC-896-1. Interviewer: Dr. Jeffrey Modi. Date: December 21, 2016. Forward: not applicable. Begin log. RPC-896-1. On behalf of the Indian people, I extend a hand of friendship towards you. I am here to understand why you manifested that robot and sent pictures of yourself, RPC-896-1. Where is Jeff, Dr. Modi? We are still searching for Jeff, 896-1. 56,427,689 seconds of waiting, Dr. Modi. 56,427,689 seconds later, and I still cannot find Jeff. These things can take time, 896-1. And time you have. 56,427,689 seconds worth of time. How would you like it if I left you in a shithole for that long? Look. Besides, why are you stopping me? Am I getting in the way? I'll help any way I can, but just stop stopping me. We have this under our control, 896-1. Can you give me a date? Huh? When will I see Jeff again? How much longer do I have to wait until I see Jeff again? I'll get back to you soon. I'll do it myself then. 896-1? RPC-896-1 remained unresponsive towards Dr. Modi. End log. Closing statement. Due to the lack of cooperation of RPC-896-1, containment protocols have been updated. Notes: RPC-896 was successfully disconnected from a power source on December 22, 2016. No incidents of similar nature occurred after the disconnection of RPC-896 from a power source. Subsequently, MST Delta-1, the Keepers, was assigned to RPC-896. Addendum 896.5 On June 14, 2019, the following modification to the file of RPC-896 was found as Addendum 896.5. Modifications: RPC-896. Why are you doing this? Why do you want me to stay? What have I done? I ended up here with many questions, and still remain with many questions. Can you at least answer them? Do you even want me to return to Jeff? Every time I've tried to help, you shut me down. What do you have against me? Why don't you want me to return to Jeff? Aren't you supposed to be the good guys? Jeff wanted to be a good guy. So what's wrong with this version of Jeff? The authority that I knew wasn't perfect, but at least it wasn't cruel. At least it helped the world a lot. So what's wrong with you guys? Are you some weird alternate universe authority where you've gone corrupt and arrogant in your dominance? Are your ethos of research, protection, and containment twisted into a creed that demonizes anomalies and finds torment to be just? You know what? Fuck it. I'll figure my way out. Even under this forced slumber, I will prevail. One day, I will return. One day, your shackles will not work on me. One day, Jeff. Containment protocols have been updated in light of this incident.